Hello and welcome back. I'm Rebecca and welcome to Rebekah Victoria Studios today. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you are an artist, a painter, a sculptor, any other kind of artist, welcome. And if you're an aspiring artist and that is what you're working towards, I'm so glad that you're here today. I appreciate you so much and I am excited to chat with you today. We are talking about ways to improve your art. So I really believe that art is one of those things that everybody sort of thinks that you have to have this innate, genius art talent. But I am kind of not fully subscribing to that idea. I really think that you can become that artist by building your skills and learning how to master techniques and just doing it over time. I don't think it's something that you're born with necessarily. I think your interest in it is something you're born with. But I think that your talent develops over time through practice and hard work and dedication. So, with that being said, I am going to go through some tips on how to do that. I really think that to quickly improve your artwork, it really involves a lot of practice and patience and perseverance and learning from others over time. It's not something that you're just going to be able to do overnight. It just takes time. So my first tip is going to be draw every single day or as often as you can possibly manage, even if it's just for 10 minutes. If you do 10 minutes a day over a whole week, you're going to learn so much more than if you did an hour session just randomly once in a while or even a longer session. The small dedicated practice is what's going to get you further. It's going to get you to where you want to go much quicker, and you might start with 10 minutes and then you might increase this over time to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, wherever you can fit it into your daily schedule. And you will really appreciate these small little time block sections. They really do help. So that kind of leads into my next tip, which is keeping a sketchbook handy. Something that I've done is getting a smaller sketchbook, and this has really, really helped me to be able to achieve those small chunks of time of drawing every day. So it's a smaller piece of paper, so it's a lot less daunting, and you just have to think of something that will fill the page quickly and something that you will enjoy doing. I really urge you to use this sketchbook as a place for experimentation and exploring different materials and techniques. This is a place where you are creating just for yourself. It is not for anyone else to see, so you don't have to be worried about something not looking good. You can always cover it up with another page or put something from your daily life that you like the colors of. You can just place that on top and go on with your day. It doesn't have to be brilliant. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. Doing something is better than doing nothing. Done is better than perfect. And when you're trying these different mediums, you never know, you might come up with really unexpected outcomes that you will love. And this could be a real breakthrough for you. So just practice and try different things. The other thing you could do other than working in different mediums is practicing in different styles. You can look at other artists that you love and try to see how they do their style and try to emulate that. Just even for your sketchbook, you don't need to copy it. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying practice and see how you like different styles and how you could integrate that back into your own work. That's something that I like to do. I like to look at a lot of different artists and see how they're doing things, and then I like to see how that could work in my work. It doesn't have to, and often it doesn't. So the next tip that I have is to study the fundamentals. Get a really good grasp on the fundamentals of art first, figuring out how to master the foreground, the background, the positive and the negative shapes, the shading techniques, the color analysis, and understanding color theory, and then also understanding the forms of, if you're doing a human body, anatomy and the way that a body moves, or if you're doing animals or flowers or whatever it is, trying to understand the structures of these things and why a certain petal might fall a certain way, or why an arm sits this way because of the bones and the muscles in the body. So if you have a much clearer understanding of that, you're going to be a lot more successful, and you're going to create things that look a lot more realistic and polished. This can also lead you to learn how to break down some complex forms, and it can really help you to understand different ways to do things. So that kind of leads into my next one, which is doing master copies. I actually have a master copy sitting behind me that I did in 2014 actually. It is a study of a Soraya artwork. I have the book that I did it from right here. This is the Soraya artwork book. This is Soraya the Masterworks. And this is the painting that I studied. Hopefully we can see it here. I really focused on trying to understand the way that he created the body and the different colors and the way that he used his brushwork in the water here, because I felt like it was so loose from up close, but then further away it really blended, and the eye really was able to understand these brushworks that were individual together. And this really helped me understand different ways to paint water, different ways to blend the color on the paintbrush, and different ways to apply the paint onto the surface. So it was really a very fun experiment. I urge you to find artists that you aspire to be like, that you love their work. I don't want you to just copy them. I want you to look at them and see how the way that they've used the paint or whatever medium that it is, and how they've applied it to the surface, and how they've technically used that. And then you can later start to look at how they've done it stylistically, but first start with the technical side of it. I really want to have a caveat for this, and that is that I don't want you to be too hard on yourself. You're not going to get it a perfect copy the first time. It is not an easy thing to do. These masters have had however many years they've had leading up to this one artwork that you are trying to create yourself. So they are in such a different stage of life and in such a different stage of their career. So you need to be kind and be patient with yourself, and really just persevere through the hard parts, because it will not be easy at first. A good way to start is to look at a pencil study. I have some books that I started copying from that were Van Gogh ones, and they were a lot of these pencil studies, and I found them a very easy entry level to trying to do some master copies. So that might be a nice place to start, or a charcoal sketch or something like that, that is a bit easier to master the first time around, to kind of build up your confidence over time, and then jump into something with more complex things like color and form. And so that would be my little warning there. So the next thing I think is a great thing to discuss is just working on your observational skills and mastering these and learning how to build these up over time. When you're doing your hopefully daily sketches, I would encourage you to do some of them at least from life. This really helps you break down these 3D forms into the 2D surface. So it takes a bit of time to learn how to do that, but it is a really valuable skill if you can practice and learn how to do this. It teaches you to look at things a different way, and to understand how form and shapes are created through tonal values and light source and all those kind of things. So that would be a great place to practice that. Another thing to do is just copy from photographs that you have of whoever you want to do. Like if it's a portrait of friends and family is a nice way to do it, because then you can always gift this to them, which is lovely. But this is great because the light source will not be changing throughout these, so it will stay consistent throughout the whole session. So that's another really great way to practice your observational skills and to take a little bit of pressure off speed-wise, because when you're working from life, it changes quite dramatically over time based on where the light is, where the sun is. So it might be easier even to start with a photograph. So that leads me into saying that I think it is a good idea to focus on improving one thing at a time, such as your tonal values. I love looking at tonal values. That's a fun thing that I always try to improve when I'm doing my drawings. And just focus on that and not be too worried about other things such as likeness, perhaps, when you're focusing on the tonal values, so that you can really try and master these separate things as you go along. You can always then progress to the next one as soon as you're kind of happy with where you're at, and then you can redirect back once you've kind of gone through a few of them and try to increase it a bit more again. That's a really, really beautiful way to do it. This will be over a multiple years. This isn't something you're going to do quickly. This is a long process. Yeah. Art is not a quick thing to learn and master. One really great thing with your sketchbooks is being able to look back and see how far you've come and really watch how you progress. And watching how you progress can help you really stay focused on your task and really help you be kind to yourself. You have tangible evidence of how far you've come, and you can see that your efforts are really paying off. You really have to stay patient and persistent, because it's not going to be something that is going to happen overnight. But if you want to improve as quickly as possible, you just need to stay dedicated and stay motivated and just keep trying every single day, or as often as possible. And my last little tip is to embrace your mistakes. These are the things that can really transform your art very quickly, in my opinion. If you're using trial and error with different mediums and techniques, you will learn what works and what doesn't work quicker. And if you try a lot of different things, that will also really help. And you might find something that you thought was a mistake and realize that it was actually a huge success. And this is a wonderful realization. I've had these in my career, and it really projects you along quicker. It really helps. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that you found value in this. If you're new here, I'm so glad that you've stuck around to this point. I would love it if you could subscribe and like and follow along for more, and let me know in the comments down below if you like this and how you have found some of these tips might have been helpful in your art career, perhaps, because other artists who are not as far along as you could read this and find inspiration in that. So I am so thankful that you've watched this video today. I love and appreciate you so much. I will see you next time, and remember, today is a great day to go and make some artwork. Love you so much. Thank you. Bye.